Can't see anything really, but maybe. That's all right.
That's the mystery you were going for.
That is the mystery and intrigue. Howdy. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we had those lights off at first, and it was a no-go as far as seeing anything.
I've got a really good spotlight there. The battery's draining on it some, so it only will stay on for like 30 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
See it in the corner.
Uh-huh.
But if you want to trigger that, that'll put a lot of light on this on me
Okay. I'll try
while it lasts.
I'm gonna do it just because we got 5 people watching that already. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh well.
We'll spread it out. We'll hit it every now and then.
Josh, you don't have a flashlight, do you?
Hey,
I can give you the cord if y'all want to plug it into one of your cars to charge it up a little bit more.
Just
If
do
you
your
need
thing.
it.
We'll worry about that.
Yeah. I got that spotlight for the eclipse because I knew the street light right by our house would probably cut on, and I was hoping to blast it off, and it worked.
oh wow.
Yeah, I was able to shut the street light off so we could keep viewing real good. I turned it off twice during the totality. So Josh, what I'll do here is just get the stencil up, and then I'll get out the white roller paint and kind of fill in his face, because right now I'm just going on top of this green, and let it dry, and then come back on top with the stencil again, and then line up my projector with, you know, the facial features, and then shade it in. So while I'm waiting for the white to dry, I'll get that projector out and do the Tennessee shape, and maybe the Ray Underhill's, word Ray Underhill below it, depending on how long it takes. I think it'll dry pretty quick though. There's not a lot of moisture in the air right now. There's a little bit, but not like it could be.
with the flashlight for just a second.
If you want to go ahead and get that projector out,
Okay.
and just I leaned some walk boards up in that corner yesterday, part of my scaffolding.
Okay.
You could just lay one of those on the ground and then set the projector on that and turn that on. That'll flood this with light. How was your Thanksgiving?
Good, yours?
Yeah, it was really good. A lot of fun.
I saw something on TV, when was it? End of last week, about the world's longest mural.
Well, Nashville, they're
Is
calling it.
Okay.
The one in the Nations.
Something like that, yeah. Are you involved with that in any way?
They asked me to participate,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like a paying gig.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've got this one that is not a paid gig, and then I'm going down to Miami and doing one that's not a paid gig. So I was kind of tapped on
Yeah.
what I could do for free, but also the timing. I was kind of like, man, that's right when I'm supposed to start this Gallatin thing,
Yeah.
and I was like, sorry, man. But that's all. Like, yeah, all of them. They're pretty much all my friends, the people who are doing it, working on it. But that's part of the Nashville Walls project, was helping organize that too, which I haven't done a ton with. They're kind of weird. It's like when they get a big paying job, they hire someone from out of town to come in, you know, and curate it. And then when they get one that's not paying, they call in all the locals. So I'm kind of like, man, if I could get in on your paid gigs, that would be even better. They're a little weird that way, but that's whatever. It's their prerogative.
How do you get this up, Bryan?
Okay, hang on. There's a little lever on the side that'll release the arm. You just kind of got to pull it back. There you go. And that'll do it.
Flashbacks to
I know, like elementary school.
elementary school.
You could find these in garage sales for next time.
Those are so much brighter than most of the digital ones, is why I use it. Front corner, right there. Just push down. Nope, on the top. Push down right there. There you go. And then you can angle on the front. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can pull that off if you need to from that Hall of Fame gig.
Do we want to spotlight this thing like that? Or...
Bow!
Bam! If that's too much, we can kind of bounce.
No,
it.
that's
Okay.
perfect.
It's good for video, that's for sure.
Cool.
we were doing this without permission, this would not be very
No, I know.
secretive.
Even with the name on my back, you know.
So does the cold help the paint dry any quicker, or is it about the same as if it was hot or something?
Well, it may slow it a tad. Really, what'll make the paint dry slower is if there's a lot of moisture and humidity in the air. But you know, the sun on it'll help it dry a little quicker. A little wind will help too. But we'll be fine. I've got other elements down at the bottom that I'll just hook up real quick while we're waiting. And if it's just refusing to dry, then I'll just, you know, have to work on this part a little later. But in my head, my planning wise is I'm thinking while I do the Tennessee shape and the Ray Underhill, that it'll be dry by then.
So will you come back and re-stencil, or are you done with that first stencil period?
No, I'll come back and re-stencil.
Yeah, that's right.
And then that's how I'll line up the image on the projector, because the projector image is like the full body, like the head and his body that goes all the way to the ground, basically. Hopefully I did my math right, and the size of this face equals the body that goes all the way down. But even if I'm off a little bit, you know, this head is substantial enough that the body will still be really big and go down, not down all the way to the bottom, close, you know.
Do you know if this is a fairly young picture of Ray Underhill?
It is. I think he was maybe mid-40s or late 40s when he passed, and this would have probably been when he was like 24, 25.
Okay.
This was at the height of his pro career. Because for a long time, while he was pro and sponsored by Powell Peralta, I think it wasn't until like 89 or 90 that he got his pro model. And this was from an ad advertising his pro model. Like, he's got the pro model in it.
We have 17 viewers right now. Thanks for letting us hang out while you work.
Shoot, thanks for keeping me company. usually, you know, I'm in Nashville, especially at the 5 points. Like I'll go and do this from like 3:30 to 4:35 because there's a gas station next door, and they've got some really bright lights that they only cut off from like 3:30, 3:45 for like an hour, hour and a half. And if I'm not up there at that time, it's like a whole bunch of drunk people want to come by and chat stuff. The other night when I was up there, it was like a bunch of drunk people who's, well, not a bunch, but a few were like, my phone's dead and I can't get a Lyft driver. Can I borrow your phone? I'm like, no, man, I've got limited time with the lights off here. Like, I'm sorry. You know, walk up to Gallatin Road. You'll find one you can flag down, a cab or something. Yeah, the 5 points, man, that place. Alright, that ought to do. Just have his hands in here a little bit. I'll end up doing a lot of spray paint down here.
Hey, Josh.
Okay, I'm packing up. I'll see you later.
Are you painting on these slides, or is this a printing process?
Now I just go to a FedEx office and,
Oh, okay.
you know.
Good old-fashioned overheads.
Is that his signature that you, like his actual
So it's
signature?
not a signature,
Okay.
but Underhill, that's how it looked on his pro skateboard graphic. And so then I just kind of drew the ray in a style to kind of, you know, match up as close as I could. So I'm gonna need to come back. Make it bigger.
Oh yeah. I had somebody pull into the parking lot. I was able to park.
So, and I have made the decision to do the ray in purple, and I'll show you the graphic I actually. So this is the ad that would have run in magazines, and you can see, you know, there's his graphic. And you can kind of see in there the Underhill.
That's a chain on the chain too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Alright, so I'm going to turn this off while I'm back. So those bulbs have a tendency to want to pop.
Yeah, I'd
if
be
they
worried about.
vibrate and slide around. I've got to replace them in case, but
Yeah.
try not to pop them.
Right. Spray painting.
Right now I'm not really caring about getting it in solid. Just kind of blocked in.
And you did avoid the temptation of using the TriStar on this graphic. Thank you for doing that.
I'll probably drop a little star somewhere up there, you know, in Sumner County. But yeah, no TriStar this time. This part too, you know, I like to fill in during the day light hours so I can really see, you know, what needs to be, just so I can get it a good solid color.
Yeah.
It's a little, I mean, I know I'm not getting it solid at all right now, but it's kind of hard to judge that sometimes under this light.
The wall seemed to take the primer pretty well, or the base coat, the green.
Yeah. That was really good. I've driven by it a few times, and like from down the hill when you're driving down there, you can look up and see it really good. It's
Oh, really?
nice,
Okay.
solid.
You see that? get some good shots.
Yeah.
They're good.
Well, I appreciate you coming over, man.
All right, you got some good shots. Cool.
What you got? It's a shame that the eye of the hill doesn't line up to himself.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now it's always, you know, I gotta make sure it's kind of square to the wall so my proportions don't get skewed.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
All right, John.
All right, see you, Josh. Take care, buddy.
Thanks.
And then there were two.
Yeah, you got some good texture shots. All right.
24 folks live right now.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. We're on low battery power now. We're in the
Yeah.
final stretch.
Yeah, I'm looking up. I don't know if this is gonna dry.
all the way in time to do that tonight anyways.
Okay, good.
So just have to probably do that tomorrow. Which I can come up here during the day and get my scaffolding set up. Kind of even go ahead and set up my stencil and measure back how far I should set it up so I'm not like dragging it forward and back trying to get it.
Right, I was wondering how that worked.
So I can hang the stencil up like in my living room basically, and then just get my projector back until the face is lined up, then measure it.
Right.
And then that's how far I need to, tomorrow come to the wall, measure that far back, set the scaffolding up.
Oh, okay, that
and
makes
then
sense.
Sometimes I just, do it on the spot.
Connie Alexander says good control with the spray can. Good job.
Who said that?
Connie Alexander.
All right.
Is that it for tonight?
I think so.
All right. All right, guys, we'll catch progress of this as it goes on. The big announcement date will be, what did we say roughly? In this
Did you
week?
want to do that Friday? This Friday, which is the 2nd?
Or we were talking about Friday or Saturday. We'll figure that out. We're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
live.
You were saying it may be hard to get the mayor on a Saturday.
Right.
But
I'll talk with her about
I'm
that.
good on either of those. Sunday I hit the road.
Okay.
So
Okay. And real quick, while I got you on, can we turn that back on for 2 seconds?
Sure. You want me to pull this up?
Oh no. Get out here. I want to ask you 2 questions.
Okay, cool.
So tell me who you are and what we're doing out here.
All right, I'm Bryan Deese, proud Gallatin resident and skateboarder, and we're creating a mural to memorialize Tennessee's first professional skateboarder, Ray Underhill, who was a Sumner County native, and that's who will be featured prominently, and it's gonna overlook the skate park and just show all the young skaters in Gallatin, Sumner County, the rich heritage of skateboarding that this county has.
So I know it's just gotten started, but basically, what do we see here so far?
So this will be a portrait of Ray Underhill, and he'll be kind of holding his board, which had a chain and cross pendant graphic, and the chain will kind of wrap around and create a border. And then over here we're gonna have Ray doing a radical hand plant maneuver. So that'll be one of the last steps, because that's one of the most forward layers. And there'll be some of logos of the companies that sponsored him. And Ray unfortunately passed away in 2009 or 10?
I think 9.
2009. And so this is just to memorialize some of the rich history of Sumner County, some of the athletic achievements that a lot of people may not know about, but should know about.
And I don't know if you mentioned the Bones Brigade.
Yes,
you don't know Ray's name, you know some of the people on his team back in the day.
Yeah. Ray was a member of the Powell Peralta skate team, the Bones Brigade. That was the most famous and influential skate team of the 1980s, which spawned people like Tony Hawk, Steve Caballero, Rodney Mullen, Mike McGill, Lance Mountain. Ray and Tony were best friends and roommates in their early 20s. Ray moved out to